everyone. It is Katie Emery from katieemery.com, and we're having kind of a different Stop Hammock Time tonight. You'll probably get it when I say Stop Hammock Time, and I'm the only one talking. How sad is that? First of all, I'll tell you why in just a minute. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Kim. Welcome. I have to show you guys. Okay, see this little TV up here in my office? This is our loft up here in our A-frame, and some people call it the loft, some people call it my office, namely me. But hubby got this little TV up here for me, and see this little blue stand? He made a makeshift stand for me, and it was so sweet of him. I told him though I probably won't get my book done if I watch TV up here, but it was super sweet of him, so props to the hubby. So I'm so glad, let me work on the lighting here, that you are joining me tonight. Unfortunately, my better looking half, the funny guy, is not here tonight. So we're gonna have a ladies' night, so hopefully that is okay with you guys. But Adam got to go with two guy friends to see the Red Wings play near Detroit. And so I think the game started at 7. Last I heard, they were losing to the Blues by, well, the Blues were winning by 1. The Red Wings had 0. So I told him to cheer louder. And I was telling him, I said, you should scope from the Joe Louis Arena. Although they might have good signal, and maybe that's not, as manly to get your periscope on there. I don't know. But excited that he got to go, and I'm excited to be here with you at our new time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern for Stop Hammock Time, because we're thinking, our kids are still awake at 7, and we have to shoo them and make them be quiet. And sometimes we talk about #it, and so it's probably better not to have that, when your kids are awake. At least for the East Coast, your kids probably should, if they're our kids' age, be in bed by 9 or so. So we thought it'd be fun to change things up a little bit. But how are you guys all doing tonight? Let me know. What would be your favorite ladies' night activity? I know I have a couple friends. We love to go to Chili's. And, when I'm not pregnant, maybe have an island beverage or two. Usually just one, not two. And then we love to dip chips in both salsa and ranch and then eat it. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. My friend LA, as we call her, she introduced me to that. And it's so yummy to do the dip. But anyway, let me know what some of your favorite ladies' night out things are to do. But what I want to talk to you guys tonight about is what wives need to know about talking to their husbands. Now, this isn't necessarily tips to get him to do what you want. So if that's what you're looking for, I am sorry about that. But the 3 things that we're going to talk about tonight are our tone, timing, and tenderness. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay, if maybe someone can comment and just say something. I see the hearts, but I'm not seeing comments, which is totally fine, but maybe just let me know that we're good to go. Because I've heard other scopers have been saying that Periscope is being kind of weird lately, so just let me know. Awesome. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. So, what wives need to know about talking to their husbands. The first is tone. I don't know about you guys, but I struggle with my tone. What I think comes out. I don't have a great filter. Keep losing your connection. Bummer. I wonder if it's where I am. We'll see. Hopefully it'll improve. We will see. Hey, Jen, welcome. So the first thing is tone. How are you sounding to your spouse? Are you, there's times where I have to say, hey, oh, look, hubby's here. Yay. Let's all say hi to Adam. I love you, babe. Mwah. Cheer the Red Wings on. So, how do you sound to your spouse? There's a lot of times where I'll say something, especially early in the morning to my husband. Hey, Abby, welcome, new mama. And I'll say things and then I'm like, oh, that didn't sound nice. And so I'll say, that sounded kind of rude, didn't it? And he's just like, yep, it did. He says it nicer than that. But so I said, I'm really sorry how that sounded. And so pay attention to your tone, how you're coming across. And when you're so comfortable with someone, when you've been living with your spouse for a while, it's easy to just get kind of lazy in the way we say things. But they still deserve our kindness, even if they haven't earned it, which my hubby has, but you know what I mean. They deserve that, because how would we want them to talk to us? So think about your tone when you're talking. Now, there are times, I think, Adam, I've told you, when we say, hey, we're fighting today. It's not very often. And we kind of let our tone slide, and we both know we have, and we're okay with it. Because sometimes, it's just like, you can only be nice for so long, right? Anyway, don't take that wrong. I think you guys know what we're talking about. But so when you're talking to your spouse, evaluate your tone. That's point number one. Point number two is timing. And I'm still learning after 14 plus years that, hubby comes home from work and I just want to vomit, things from the day on him, the good, the bad, the ugly. Hey, Audie, welcome. All that kind of stuff. And so what is maybe the best time to talk to your spouse? And it's not always going to be the perfect moment, especially if you have a house full of kids like we do. But, try to think through timing. If your spouse has been at work all day, or maybe they're home with the kids all day, the first thing, where they or you coming in the door might not be, my timing is bad too, Kim. And sometimes you're like, can I tell you something? And he's like, okay, but it's not good. And I just go with it anyway. I think the worst is when we're laying in bed and like maybe Adam likes to look at different, like funny videos and show me things and that kind of thing, or he's reading a book, and that's when I want to talk to him, So we have to get better about talking earlier, so that, he'll do the same thing sometimes to me, like I'm in the middle of writing a chapter, hey Cindy, welcome, I'm in the middle of writing a chapter, and he's showing me things, whatever. So tone is the first thing to pay attention to when you're talking to your spouse. Timing is another. What is a better time? When Adam and I ride in the car, I'm always like, I have his undivided attention. He's driving, I'm there, he can't go anywhere. Yay, go Wings, Adam. And so, give us an update on the I can't talk. Give us an update on the score. So, anyway, just for a pause, last week was like our best scope ever. We're still like living in the glory days of our scope. And so I feel like this is a lot to live up to, especially because I'm doing this solo and my hubby is way more funny. But anyway, so we're having a girl, if you didn't hear, everyone who tuned in, like, really hung with us. And then we also had like our own version of The Bachelor with my brother-in-law, who's such a good sport, although he told us like he's going to get back at us, so that's a little bit scary. But anyway, tonight we're talking about what wives need to know about talking to their husbands. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate the encouragement. Cindy was giving me a pep talk when I'm like, the funny one won't be here. Oh, it's still 1-0. Bummer. Oh, Audie, you helped make it hilarious. So anyway, the first thing is tone. How are you talking to your spouse? The second is timing. When are you talking to them? And the third is tenderness. And here's the thing. My sister-in-law was just over, and we were talking about our husbands, who are brothers. And I said to her, I didn't realize this until recently, that my husband, well, let me back up. I can be blunt and tactless. And so a lot of times I'm like, Adam's my filter. Like, I'll say, hey, how does this sound if I say this thing? He goes, that's kind of rude. You might want to say it this way. And so, oh, Cindy, you have no idea, my friend. So I can just be very blunt, to the point. Like, if I'm offended or frustrated, I just, like, the niceness goes out the window. Kind of like in the middle of the night if I get woken up. Not nice. Hashtag not nice. Where are you on that one, Audie? Hashtag not nice. So anyway, but what I realized is my husband is more sensitive in a manly guy way than I realize. And sometimes because we're so, thanks, Audie, because we're so comfortable with each other, sometimes I'll just say things like, hey, I just saying like, it's cold in here or whatever. And I'm just like stating a fact, but he might be interpreting it like she doesn't think I'm doing good enough with our heating situation. Like sometimes guys are really hard on themselves, and I think we as women need to pay attention to that. And just, the times where Adam shares his heart, which isn't, he's an honest guy, but sometimes you know how your husband will just give you that window into his soul. And if we do well to pay attention, I realize like, wow, he's way harder on himself than I realize. So if I say something that's maybe slightly, sounds critical, he might be taking that really personally. Like the other day I was saying something about the time